So I'm going to go into the first of our sort of extra toolbars in Navigate Accelerate, which is where I can manage and create my sheets and my views. So I'm going to do a quick run through now where I am going to create my dependent views and I'm going to get them put onto sheets ready to be issued. So what I've set up in advance is I have my overall ground floor plan and I have my 4 scope boxes put into place that I want to make my dependent views from. So starting here at the left, I can create my views and I'm going to select the levels that I want to make my floor plans from. So I just want my ground, first and second floor today. I'm not going to do the roof or the parapet. And then I'm going to move on to the left-hand side where I'm going to select the types of plans I want to create. So I want to create floor plans. I can also do ceiling plans, structural or area plans, and I can also add additional rows for my floor plan. So if I'm doing all of my floor finishes, wall finishes, partition drawings, structural setting out drawings, whatever the case is, I can have a row for each one and I can assign my view template then as well. I got to make sure that I tick the box for dependent views and then I'm going to select the scope boxes then that I want to make my floor plans from. It's that as simple as that, and from that then I'm just going to hit create views and that is going to generate out all those views for me with the view template in place. So if we give that a second, you can see there I have successfully created 15 views. If I was to do that manually, I'd have to right click each time, make dependent, make dependent, make dependent. You can see here as I scroll down to my sheet views area, my dependent views have been created. I can expand those out so we can see them all. And also Navigate has cropped each one to the same size each time. And I can go in and I can check all of my information is correct. So there we have part A, part B, part C, and part D. So I've already saved a lot of time there. I have my dependent views made. So now I want to get my views onto a sheet. So I'm going to move across here now and I'm going to create sheets. So what Navigate will want you to do is have one sheet set up in advance, which is your template sheet. So I have a ground floor kind of overall view already set up. And what I've included on that view is my North Point symbol, and I've also included a schedule. So I want to demonstrate that from your template view, you can also copy symbols, schedules, and legends onto all of the new views that you are going to create. So that's going to be my template for today. We can see that it's highlighted in yellow down here on the list. And then I'm going to move on to the next box here now where I am going to select the views that I want to put onto sheets. So the ones I just made, like you can see there's my part plans. I'm going to select these. And you can see the list here now is populating. So again, my placement, I can choose where on the sheet I want to place them. Today I'm just going to go with center to center. And I want to make sure that I include any legends, schedules or symbols from my template view because I'm copying my floor plans. So now you're into editing your parameters. So I'm setting my sheet name, my sheet number, and any other information that I want to include on my title box. So title on sheet, I'm going to type in ground part A. And we're going to use our tools of copying and finding and replacing now to get this information filled in record time. If you were doing this manually in Revit, you would be flicking through each sheet individually. I can use my find, search and replace now to replace ground with first. Again, I can copy, paste, do search and replace. I can replace first with second. And I can now take my title on sheet, copy and paste that into my sheet name. So now all my title on sheet, my sheet names are done. I am going to set my sheet numbers as well. I want my series to start at, let's say, 1110. This is smart. It will prompt you if there are any duplicate numbers in there. So I can clear that warning before I go to my next step, which is now using fill increment. So I've used fill increment. These have all increased in value up by 1. I have no duplicates. So all my sheets are numbered, all my sheets are named. I don't need to change any of my other columns, but again, I can at this point if I want to. And the only other thing I want to change is my level code to make sure that I'm complying with my drawing standards. So again, I can do search and replace, search and replace. And just like that, now I have all of my sheets named and numbered, and I don't need to change any of my other data here, and I can create my title sheets. So this is now going to start to process, and it's going to create 12 title blocks with all my title block information filled in. It's going to copy all my north points, it's going to copy any schedules, it's going to copy any legends.
This will take a considerable amount of time too as well, Deb, for people just creating drawings as part of their day-to-day workflows.
Exactly. If you're doing this with just out-of-the-box Revit, you're creating each sheet one by one, you're creating your views one by one, and you're having to drag and drop each view onto the sheet. And also with this as well, you can cross-check the alignment of all of your views as well, so that you're going to know that your view is in the same place on every title sheet each time.
That benefits if you move into another interface where they're like comparing levels, you know that their center point is the center of the building. So exactly. That your overlays for comparing or checking walls beneath.
You can see there now it's created my 12 sheets successfully. No warnings involved, and if I wanted to go and create another batch of sheets with another template at this point, I could do that. However, I'm going to show you, you can see all of the boxes have gone blue there now. I'm using Revit 2024, so I can see that all these views are now on sheets. And there are all of my part plans. So just to show you there, this was the template sheet that I had set up initially with just a random schedule and my north point on it to demonstrate that, again, I can copy these onto my new sheets that I'm creating. So there's my ground floor part plan A, there's the schedule, there's the north point, and if I zoom in here, my title block is all filled in, and all my information is done. If I come back now into Accelerate, into my Manage Sheets and Views box, the next thing that I want to do is I want to get my revisions on these sheets before I issue them out. So again, traditionally, if you're doing this in Revit, you're creating your revision globally, and then you're going through each sheet one by one and selecting the revision from the list. What Navigate will allow me to do is to speed this up and do all of my sheets in one go. So when I go to Revision Manager, I can jump in here. It's going to filter, it's going to find all of the sheets that I have in my project at the moment, and if I expand this out, I can see here's all of my plans. So these are the drawings that I want to get issued out today. So I'm going to select these ones from the list. Again, if you have a really large project, you can use filter, you can use the search here to find what you're looking for in the list. It's also, I have my project browser set up to organize it in different sections, so I recommend doing that to help you find drawings. And then I can go and I can edit revisions, and I can select this tool here. So this is going to open up a box that's very similar to the Revit kind of global revision manager, where you create your revisions, and then I can simply just select something from the sequence here, press OK, and that is processing those revisions almost instantaneously. And if I zoom in here now into my revision box, I can see that that generic revision I just created has been dropped onto the sheet. If I jump into another sheet down here, if I go onto the second floor, again, the same thing, my revision has been put onto my sheet, and I've saved a huge amount of time there where I haven't had to flick between different sheets. Another quick one there before I move on is you can see I have no dimensions between my grid lines. Navigate Accelerate has brought in a button here now for dimension grids, which will just automatically drop those dimensions onto my grid lines. in the view that I'm in, and just again save me another bit of time where I don't have to start doing a dimension string between my grids going in both directions. So yeah, that's a great tool. There's lots more tools in here. Like I said, there's somewhere between 60 to 70 tools in Navigate Accelerate. But there are settings, there are tools for tagging, and there are tools for creating empty sheets. If you have your drawing register set up and you just want to create all of your sheets, you can place your views on them. Then later on, once you, let's say you're creating lots of 1:10 facade details, you can get all your sheets created. Now as you're making your views, then you can bang them onto your sheets. You can edit sheet parameters as well, so it can send you back in. If any numbering changed or any naming changed, you can go back in and use the sheet parameters then as well, to basically speed up your life and not have to do things sort of one by one. So there's lots of really great tools underneath this extra toolbar for manage sheets and views.